suck. Go fuck yourself.
You ain't got no BABYFACE. I ain't got a trap phone. I got P's and M's and K's and O's. They're illegal, so I'm it's on my eyes. I was just a middle finger. Running for my beat, the bowl and the liquor. Thinking I'm a rapper, I think I'm a singer. Watch me in the car, I treat the chorus like a timber. You surprise, I'm a South boy, I'm South shit. This is a this ain't all that fucking
Hey man, y'all welcome, man. It's WrestleMania. It is here, and man, it is a special WrestleMania edition of Heel Turn. Man, T, first off, not only this tonight and tomorrow night is I'm just gonna say, man, it's the only weekend or the only sports extravaganza to where the drama is higher than the Attitude Era wrestlers, and it's thicker than Bayley's pants in 2021.
Touche.
But before we go any further, man, speaking of nostalgia moments, we got somebody joining us that ain't been with us in a hot ass minute. We got Manic Buck with us for a little bit in this special little episode.
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
How you doing?
Doing good. Can't complain at all. I'm excited for WrestleMania. We got a huge week coming up. I'm grateful and blessed that you guys brought me back in to enjoy something that was a huge part of my life for a long time with you two fellas. But nonetheless, I'm super stoked about WrestleMania weekend. I ended up, catching SmackDown and then watching the Hall of Fame. I caught that this morning on YouTube, so go check that out if you haven't saw it. It's about 3.5 hours long, but it was worth the watch if you like hearing wrestling stories. And other than that, I'm super stoked to hear what you guys got to say.
Hey, absolutely, and first and foremost, I kind of fucked up, T. Let's introduce ourselves because we've kind of been playing around the last few weeks and we haven't really done this properly. So I figured why not do WrestleMania to do this shit the right way, my man. So we are the self-proclaimed tag team champions of amateur booking. And we are your hosts, Lucian Cage and the Anomaly Babyface. And folks, the granddaddy of them all is upon us here at WrestleMania, bros, in Vegas. And tonight, the lights are brighter. The pyro, that shit's gonna cost more than your mortgage at this point. And the logic, that shit's about to end when that opening bell goes ding ding, bitch. Hey, so before we do anything, T, I know you were talking behind the scenes. You got a little bit of a heel turn you want to put out, so I'm gonna drop the floor to you for a minute, my man.
You know what, motherfucking Paul Levesque, get your ass front and center, my guy. Who's writing? Who's writing? I know you say you're only gonna listen. You're not listening to the ones, the twos, and the threes and the fours, but the ones and the fours, we got an issue. You know you got a division that is cooking on your quote unquote B show. Yeah, your tag team division is cooking way more than your A show tag team division. How the fuck is you gonna make me have to wait a whole fucking week for a tag team match that should have been on the card over this other tag team match? This triple threat between Machine Gun, Motor City Machine Gun, DIY, and the Street Profits, that should have been on the card. That should have opened up your Sunday.
I think you're an asshole for stealing my heel turn as well, because we should have coordinated, my man. We coordinated everything else, but we didn't coordinate the heel turn.
I was pissed.
Motherfucker. Hey, yeah, hey, and Derek, I want you to chime in with this shit too. Hunter, how are you going to misbook, in my opinion? But as we, you know what? We're gonna get more into it, man, because we're gonna dive deep into the action. As we got some of these debuts, we got some returns. We got a farewell, and it's probably what was gonna be probably one of the biggest manias in history. So, my first thought, man, is you're booking for the SmackDown tag team the last few weeks, actually the last few months, has been on point in my opinion. Like, I have absolutely enjoyed watching the Machine Guns, get the tag team titles 3 matches in, and then they dropped it within what? It was less than a month, something like
I
that.
think 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you turn around and you had the Profits chasing the tag titles since 2021. It seemed like.
Feels like a decade.
And you had DIY somehow getting the titles. You had, Pretty Deadly somehow in the mix. And to me, they should have been added. They got left off. They should have been. It should be a fatal 4-way TLC match, in my
I
opinion.
said it should have been in a fucking elimination chamber match.
Well,
You had enough tag teams to pull it off.
Well, I like where
with
you're
that.
at with the having this on SmackDown instead of on Mania, because kick it back a little bit, man. If anybody knows about the TLC match in WrestleMania, they're synonymous. That's where the shit began.
Absolutely. I was just about to say that.
So why wouldn't you have that shit on Mania? But if you're gonna have tag team titles on the line, bro, why did it have to be the Raw tag team titles? What? Because the New Day? And let me guess, we're doing this, and no disrespect to anybody out there, to you as well, man, but let me guess, because the New Day is the black guys on the card that is being represented? Is that how they would go about it? Because I would rather see the Profits on it. Their story intrigues me more. I can't tell right now if they're a heel or face. Because their work is that good.
We'll dive into it more when you go through your predictions. When we go through our predictions, But I went and watched the videos that you guys uploaded, and when I was watching that match, one of the first thoughts was, why would when that match ended, if this happens, like what are they going to make them the champs for? Okay, because it's not like chasing a record. You're not chasing a record with them. They're bona fide arguably top one of 3 in the history of the business, as far as tag teams. Now you can argue different things, but I had a question mark in my head when I watched the finish of that specific video with that ending in place, as to what I thought would happen. But I am probably on point with yours. The Street Profits, the way they chased the titles for so long, and then seeing that collective of the minimum of 4 teams, and again, you can add 2 or 3 different teams in the mix and have a huge selection to really pull that TLC match off. And that was the first thing when you mentioned that my head went to, was a TLC match.
Yeah, and I mean, I think we're all in agreement at this point. That's probably the one booking. Nah, it's not, but that's the biggest booking for this Mania that I'm gonna disagree with. Now, there's other ones that I'm not gonna necessarily say I disagree with, but I'm gonna say that if I, being the armchair booker that I am, were running it, this is the way I would go. And I will let you know more about that later when we get to our predictions, thanks to our simulation powered by WWE 2K25. But T, before we get off your heel turn, like, what could they have done to maybe piqued your interest on what the current match is?
On the way to advertise them more. Like, okay, on the lead up to Mania, what it was like. I'm not gonna
Random
say that it
attacks.
wasn't a. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't a build up to the match, but it was the most flattest build up to a match. Maybe do more, but like it felt like you were telling the New Day story with the guy that's sitting on your pre-show panel with Big E. So it was like, okay, where's this going? And then it was like, yeah, throw it away, divert it. It's and then if you look at your B show, it's beautiful. Why is that not on the card in place of that match? Because it's not like, okay, don't get me wrong. I know all 4 men are gonna go into this match and put on a spectacle. They have the chemistry to do so, and they're 4 great competitors.
Yeah.
And yes, it is still telling a story, and I'm not mad at it. I'm upset that that's not going to be on Monday's card. When I put it this way, I didn't have a problem with it until you announced that you're giving me a triple threat tag team title match, but on SmackDown. That's what made me mad because I'm okay with the fact that it's a tag team match on WrestleMania, but the fact that I could have had a triple threat instead, and it's still no disrespect to the 4 men that are going into the ring on Sunday. But you mean to tell me as a fan, I could have had the excitement of you? I'm not gonna lie, you're going to have us on a roller coaster of emotions this weekend. You're finna kick off Saturday hot fire and have us in a manic. Okay, you could have did the same thing on Sunday with this TLC match. That's all.
I absolutely agree with you.
That is it. I respect the process and I understand it. It's just it. Oh, you could have did so much. You could have did so much, and I wish you would have listened to me. Go back on the podcast when I said it should be in an elimination chamber because then you wouldn't be where you at right the fuck now. Don't
Yeah.
get me wrong, you're still fucking cooking. But damn it. I'm glad it's Saturday and we're doing the show because I would hate, and I don't mean it like that, but I would be very mad at myself to have went to church and then be sitting here cussing the way I am, especially when I know I just promised myself to cut back on my cussing.
There's always tomorrow night.
No, I need a good week going into the work week. Let me get my church, and then my cussing should just be strictly to that match was oh shit. That's it. I'm gonna have to start. Oh, I'm gonna end up being rich with myself. I'm gonna just put dollars and I'm gonna put money in a jar.
Yeah, you might as well you just might as well prepay that shit right now. Call that shit Randy Orton.
Put it on the cash out card. Just put $200 for cussing doing podcast show.
Yep.
Can we get that as a ticker every time I get cuss word ticker like they do on the Pat McAfee show?
Oh man.
That's great.
Oh man,
Just
dude.
get a ding every time.
You imagine, man? Can you imagine what that would what would happen?
I wonder how high we can get that number. Because, Django, the movie in Django, they said the word nigga so many times. I wonder how many times we can say cuss words and break records.
I was gonna say, I know I can't complete a complete sentence without using at least 2 to 3 filler swear words. So there's that. I mean, come on, bro. You hear me joking with little man, calling him a my little fucker.
Listen.
So let me ask you, Lucian. Would you say you're an over under 25 vulgar words a day?
And what? And how much time?
A day, 1 day.
In a day?
Oh,
Oh, that's over.
you're giving me 25?
I'm
Yeah.
over.
Shit, bro.
I
I'm
mean
a
today's
okay.
Now let's be semantical for a second. Today's vulgarity level. Now, to me, shit, damn, and ass are common used words. Okay, so when you're using those particular
So
types of
shit, damn, and
what
ass are three commonly used words that I usually don't use in
I
my.
use fuck.
fuckity
Oh,
fuck
bro,
fuck
if
is
that
usually what I
I
go
can
to.
guarantee you, I use the word fuck at least 25 times from the time that I walk into my job at 5 a.m. till about 11. I've said it at least 25
He
times, whether
said
it be
11.
at somebody, something, whether I bumped into something, and it just
As
by within a 6 hour time frame at work when it's just me and Spidey, I can guarantee you, bro. I've said fuck at least 25 times.
listen, as a teacher, as soon as I lay my finger back off the time clock from clocking in, some shit is said to me that I have to say what the fuck. And it is 7:37. Yes, I am late to work every day. I give no fucks. See? But some shit is always said to me, and I gotta be like, bro, what the fuck? Bro, it's Monday. The fuck are you?
Hey, dog, you're
Bro,
so hold up, you're a teacher.
oh shit.
So unless you're and I know you're not because I've been around you enough, but unless you're like groping kids, I don't think you can get fired. You could be late and they're gonna be like, get to class. Like, what are they gonna do?
Okay,
Fire
no.
you?
Like in public school, they maybe not right now because of the teacher shortage, but in public school, oh yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
they would be like, hey. There's a reason I work at private schools. Uh, not just for look. I work at a private school because I had a dope ass boss, and I don't get penalized for being late. And when I say I don't get penalized, there's been times I've been 40 minutes late to work, and I just clock in and go to teaching.
Well, maybe it's the fact that we're in Vegas, or maybe it's the fact that we're a heel turn, but we're gonna get canceled in about 2 seconds because if I were a teacher, I'd be in private school too because they don't get targeted as often.
My first off, for those of you that, well, first off, my boss knows I carry, so I park in a specific place at work just in case a bitch want to run up and try because it's not just the school where I work at; it's also a daycare. Um, and I am the sole believer that yes, I, you know, don't want to put my life on the line, but you ain't touching them fucking kids.
Oh yeah, bro. I'm not wanting to like die for somebody else like that,
Right.
but if I worked in your position, yeah, dog, you gonna have to kill me to get to these kids.
Like,
Like I ain't trying to die, but you have to kill me to get to them.
I tell my kids this all the time. I'd be like, I mean, if something did happen, I promise y'all are gonna be fine. I might not be, but they won't be either.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a school teacher because I'm horrible at pronouncing names. Like if I was a teacher, they would call me the Ted Bundy of teaching. Like if it's past Sam, Cat, Tom, and Richard, then like I'm probably murdering your name if I pronounce it. So like that's I knew in like second grade I'd never be a school teacher. Listening to the teacher call out attendance, and I'm like, oh my god, I'd murder them. Yeah, yeah. So bless you for what you do. You're not appreciated enough. Let me go out there and say that. And they should give you jugs for being late. And if they don't, then you know what? For Manic Buck and the Plunder, fuck them.
Yeah, I get that, and like again, thank you. I it, I like teaching kids over working with, and I know this is horrible to say. I'd rather deal with kids than deal with adults and their
I
weirdness.
get it.
It ain't what, bro. I rather deal with a kid's weirdness than an adult's weirdness a lot of the times, bro. Because at least the kid's weirdness is entertaining.
Yeah.
You know their imagination is just the fact that they're a kid.
I mean, you even asked me. He was like, "Bro, high school," and I was like, "I teach middle school," and I was like, "The sad part is, if it wasn't for TikTok, maybe I would be a lame teacher. But TikTok basically helps me like interact with these kids on a level for them to like get it. So like,
The
even though people shit on middle school, I listen.
dog, I
Middle
had a lot of
school
fun in middle
is
school.
funny as hell.
Dog, I had a lot of fun in middle school. Those years were fun. It was the high school years that it went downhill for me.
High school is when I got real quiet and stopped trying to interact with people.
Oh, okay. So high school is when I got really quiet and I quit trying because I was always asleep.
I get that. I was
Damn. Yeah, I just bro. I went to school to go to sleep because I didn't want to stay home and sleep. Well, I wasn't allowed either. You know.
and at some point lunch was coming.
Yeah, and I didn't
You
have
know,
to do shit about it.
back when lunch was
Good.
decent.
I'm gonna say good because that looking at the shit that they feed these kids now, and I get the whole Healthy Start programs and all this other hoopla, and yeah, but ain't nothing happen with me eating that cardboard ass motherfucking pizza on Fridays.
Well, what we not gonna do is first off, shout out to the website Guthrie's where I can order that shit if I want it. Cause I can order that shit and have a
The
old
cardboard
school.
pizza?
Yeah, you
Hell yeah!
yeah, you get on the website, order that shit. Hey, and it's like not that bad either. You get like I think you get like almost like 200 some pizzas for like 40 some dollars.
Shout out to Guthers. So, let's go ahead and get into this, man, because we did some simulations powered by WWE 2K25, man, and this this kind of got our creative juices for other stuff flowing, but I want to get into a couple of these matches. First and foremost, bro, let's go on ahead and kick off the show talking about the same way we're going to be kicking off WrestleMania, man. And that's going to be Jay and Gunther. So I want to go ahead and throw it out there that I think it is great that we're about to open WrestleMania yeeting all over the place.
It's beautiful.
There is nothing that is going to be more satisfactory this weekend than yeeting to open up WrestleMania. That being said, knowing what tradition and history is, normally your WrestleMania or your Royal Rumble winners normally get the main event WrestleMania to go on and take on the champion of their choosing. This year we see it being done a little bit different with the main events being one on Saturday, the CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins triple threat match. And on Sunday for night 2, we're going to see the John Cena Cody Rhodes championship match. Neither one of those are one of the Royal Rumble winners from this year. As I just said, Jey Uso is your 2025 Royal Rumble champion. Do you think that puts a notion on it, regardless of how this match outcome is? Does that put any cloud over this match due to the fact of maybe Gunther and Jay are not of the stature of what the other two main events are? I'm gonna start with you, Trevor, on this one.
I don't think so. I mean, hear me out. We kind of talked behind the scenes about it. I feel like it is time to. I get it. He's main event Jey Uso, and don't get me wrong. And I'm not taking no bout route when I say this, but sometimes other stories, whether there's a title involved or not, deserves the main event picture. And low-key, the triple threat match is a way better interesting story than the rest of the card on Saturday. Just like Cody and Cena. I mean, granted, it's added depth, but that's even a big. You get what I'm saying? That's even a big story from what they did at just Elimination Chamber and what they've been telling her. Granted, I have my thoughts about that, but when we get to that match, we'll get to that match.
Yeah. Okay. And no, I like that. Now, Derek, I wanna know from you, man. Like, is this fair to Jay at this point that he's being almost forced to open the show? I mean, and I get it, man. If you don't close the show, you'd rather open it. You don't want to have to be one of the in between. But do you think Jay and Gunther can really set the tone for Saturday and really all of WrestleMania?
Now, what I'll do is answer it in reverse of the way you asked it. I'll answer the latest question before I get to the main portion. I do believe they're capable of opening the show and setting the tone. The high that Jay Uso's been on for the last 12 months plus. And let me back that up by saying the high that Gunther's been on for the last 3 years. So I do believe they're capable. Now, let me play devil's advocate here, or in the nature of the beast in the show, let me throw a heel turn. Yeah, I do. Because when it's, from me, growing up, you go into the Royal Rumble as a fan, understanding the show and the match and what it's entailed. It was the main event title match at the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania, right? Now, with the specific storyline, if Jay Uso gives probably the match of his career, yet loses, I think it kills his momentum. I think because as an opening card title match, yeah, even when you're playing the game, the standard status quo is you want your main event to be their best match, right? You want your opening match to probably be your second best match because you want to bring them in. But you don't want that die off when you're as a promoter. You don't want that die off in the middle where you lose the crowd by the time the main event gets there, right? So all in all, I think they're capable of putting on a match that disregards the actual effects of what we're talking about. But I do believe that's kind of shitty to do a guy like Jey Uso specifically, who's been, putting in work day in and day out for over a decade easy. Part of one of the greatest tag teams ever to step into the ring, and part of arguably the best family in wrestling history. So that's my perspective.
Okay. So you brought up if Jay loses, then that kills a lot of the momentum. Now I had somebody tell me that automatically he's losing because he's opening WrestleMania. I want both of you to answer, and I'm gonna start with you first, Eric. Is that a fair sentiment?
Is that a fair sentiment? That's a perspective that's really not something that I even acknowledge because that's kind of an ignorant perspective in my opinion. I don't believe the opening match loses just because. Um, that the winner and the loser is, in my opinion, depicted on how the story's been told and where we're at. And to me, when you ask for my prediction, you'll get my opinion on it. But from a general standpoint, I believe the winner and the loser is it depends on the story more so than where you're aligned at on the card.
Okay. Trevor, what are your thoughts, man? Is that fair to jump to the conclusion that Jay's losing just because he's opening Mania?
No, I'm not. I look, fan of Jey Uso, fan of Gunther. I still want Jey Uso to win the title. I don't think him opening the show is No. Now, granted, I want to see, like we joked about when we talked, I want to see what the pyro budget look like. Because I feel like even if Gunther retains, just shoot off a little bit of pyro because it was a title match, you know?
I mean, it's Gunther's first title defense at WrestleMania. I mean, the World Heavyweight title match. I mean, I agree
I
with
think
you.
because of the story, this is probably his biggest title defense of his career in WWE.
Yeah.
Intercontinental or championship, WWE champion. The way they built the story up is actually they have wow, I'm quite intrigued in this story.
So I'm a ride on the same the same side with you guys that I think it's unfair to justify and to go ahead and just claim Jay's losing, but I'm gonna throw a heel turn on this. What if we open WrestleMania with the World Heavyweight Championship changing hands? Like, has anybody thought of that? We could literally open this. What they're saying could be one of the biggest WrestleManias with this card. And I mean, you look at the card top to bottom. Yeah, you could poke your holes, and we're doing that in this show today. But if you look at it from a standpoint, when you look at your big main matches, they're telling a story. And they've been telling a damn good story. And a lot of these are the ending to these some of these stories. But what I'm getting at is when you look at what is going on with it, it should. I think starting to show off with a world title change, just have the fans in Vegas turn around going, holy shit, because automatically you got everybody going, oh, man, Jay's gonna lose. He ain't beat Gunther yet. He's just gonna lose. They ain't gonna change the title first fucking thing. Ain't no way that shit's gonna happen. Boom, Jay wins. Like you just think, bro, you go from yeeting to watching him get his ass whooped, you're thinking that he's just gonna lose and then boom, bro. The roof blows off of Allegiant Stadium, bro. With 70,000 people yeeting to your new world heavyweight champion.
Beautiful.
Like that to me says a lot more than just putting Jay in that type of match and not being able to pull the trigger on him getting that singles title.
I would also say this. Yeah, sometimes match placement matters, but who cares? You're on the card. Not like the triple threat match that got left off the card. Oh, you thought I wasn't gonna spend a block on that, Hunter? Huh? Yeah, no.
Oh, we'll keep plugging in a couple of these things too. Now I want to keep the focus on Raw real quick, you guys. We probably have. Actually, you know what? We're gonna keep it tag team because we probably have one of the worst tag team title bouts on the card right now. And I'm not gonna dig really into the New Day versus War Raiders because I think we already said what we needed to be said. I kind of want to get into the women's tag team title defense because I feel that was so forced and pushed together. One, it didn't have to be night one. It could have been night two. Second off, you have your women's mid card. And we're going to get more into detail with this, Trevor. So I'm going to have to tell you to hold it because I know where you want to go with this. But you got your women's mid card title. Not even being defended. It's out there. It's being distributed. It's being shown. It's being advertised. You know you have a women's Intercontinental champion. But she's going for the tag team titles with Bayley against Liv and Raquel. I just feel that is a very, very cheap booking. And in Vegas, man, you can't do shit cheap. It's Vegas, motherfuckers. I'm gonna put something out there that I kind of heard that I think would be great one day. What about Alexa and Nikki? I mean, Sister Abigail. They were a tag team one time. What if they popped up with the Wyatt Six and they brought women's tag team gold? That would be fun. Or why not let the women's tag team titles hang out in NXT? Because that women's roster is killing it. And I don't care if you want to talk about just singles or you want to look at it just tag team. They have gold, bro. And they need some gold to show for it. What are your thoughts on that, T?
You know, I'm not mad at it. What you just said, I'm not mad at that. We were talking earlier, and I told you you already got us 18 hours. And if you were like me and probably a few others who you watched Stand and Deliver this morning after being up all night watching the Hall of Fame. So you living on your caffeine and your hopefully a joint. But 90% of us is living on caffeine right now.
Yeet. Caffeine and THC.
This is when I was like, okay, you got this 2-hour pre-show because they just put the clock back on the television. You got 2 hours and 3 minutes until kickoff. You mean to tell me we couldn't get no pre-show matches? This would be perfect for some pre-show matches. You put the women tag team titles on the pre-show match. You could have pissed me off and put the triple threat tag team SmackDown titles on the pre-show. Like, damn.
You had options.
Again, I know I'm only speaking for the 1, 2, 3s, and 4s, Hunter, but still.
See, I'm not complaining necessarily.
Right.
I'm more of just saying. I
just
like
saw
the
opportunity. Is all.
Yes, like I see certain matches. Like I said, there's holes in this card that I'm gonna poke. But where those holes I'm poking, I'm also coming to you with matches that I feel justify being put in that place. Like the women's tag team titles, yeah, you didn't have to have them being defended, and you don't have to have Lyra Valkyria going after the fucking title with somebody. You could have had the women's IC title on the line. You could have did it in a one-on-one. You could have done a triple threat match. You could have done a fatal four-way match. Hell, bro, you could have done a fucking ladder match the same way NXT did their shit for their number one contendership. Like, there's ways. You could do a fatal four-way the same way that they did for the NXT women's title. There was opportunities there that I feel you missed. And I'm just gonna sit on the Lyra Valkyria thing because I got my shit here in a little bit that I want to say on why you kept little Miss Chelsea Green, your Canadian United States champion, off the card. And to me, that is this fucking respect
To the United States of America.
to Chelsea motherfucking Green.
May I chime in on my opinion?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Looking at listening to everything you've said, and being, up as familiar as I could be, probably just as familiar as you guys as to the ins and outs of what's going on and what's been going on. I think it's way the fuck overdue to stop the disrespect to Chelsea Green, number one. Before we go any further, she is probably the most underrated women's wrestler on the roster. Because of her character, I think the fans put her in that position more so But as far as storytelling, like you're talking, and booking, I think it's to me, I think the women mid card titles, being that they just came out, what, 3, 5 months, 6 months ago, um, are more important to highlight than the women's tag team belts. Cut and dry. There's not even a comparison to me as far as what I feel like the importance and the relevancy of a title. Like we've, on this show in the past, mentioned the words, the topics of relevancy to titles and what they mean and the allure of certain belts. And I think if you want to build that prestige up, whoa, do we got a Scullywag in here?
What up, brother?
What's going on, brother?
What's up, my wonderful brothers? How are y'all doing on this Wrestlemania?
Doing
Look,
great.
this is a beautiful thing. I'm not
Wrestlemania
even gonna
Hour
lie. This
Eve.
is a beautiful thing.
You guys good? You guys hanging in there?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. How you doing?
Just trying to make it, man. Saw you guys were live. I said, man, let me say what's up to my fellas.
Hey.
I'm enjoying my new Puffco.
I saw that. It's a wonderful, wonderful mechanism you have there.
Yes, sir.
You've been good?
Yes, sir.
Everybody good? Fred, you
Oh
good?
yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see you guys, man.
So Danny, we want to get your input on this. Lyra Valkyria going for the tag title when you have a title on her that could easily have been defended. Was it the right booking call?
No.
Or what? Okay, what would you have done?
I would have let somebody else go for the tag titles. And keep or put her belt up for itself
See
for
that,
its own match. For its own
and
match,
that's where we were going at. Is you take the women's tag team titles off of the card. You take them off the card. You could have had them defended on SmackDown. You could have had them defended on Raw. You could have had them defended on a pre-show match. Because like Trevor was talking about, let's bring those back.
I mean, for a minute there, didn't they exchange like titles on SmackDown and Raw like recently? Like that was kind of cool that they're changing the hands and not waiting to a PLE to get it.
But see,
Well,
for
one of the
me,
things that they have done in the past is like they've used a number of things, like the Friday Night SmackDown show beforehand has been used a lot here recently in the past, as well as the Monday following. But up until maybe 6 months to a year ago, they had pre-show matches, and those smaller storylines or those titles that really weren't that relevant at that point were the ones that were particularly defended in those situations, or certain gimmick matches. But I think
No,
at these major PLEs, they need to bring those back. I'm with
but
you.
what I'm saying is that they've gone away from doing the belt exchanges, surprises like, hey, somebody just lost a belt right before a PLE. Switch the card up a little bit. Do that every now and then instead of just waiting for your belts to be defended on a PLE. You get what I'm saying? That way you already know
I agree with that.
who's gonna wrestle at the PLE. That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
See, and
Why can't they get a shot? Somebody else get a shot at that belt to replace them at that PLE? Like give everybody a fair opportunity. Don't give somebody the belt right away and then be like, okay, you're not gonna defend your belt until PLE. Like that's. I don't think that's right. Or have them win the belt. I think they should have equal opportunities, and everybody should get a chance to lose the belt and fucking keep the belt before a PLE.
I get that.
Before you used to be able to watch a title change hands on a SmackDown, on a Raw, just out of nowhere, on a freak, bam, oh man, whoa, what just happened? Holy crap! Now they wait for PLEs for that. That's just my opinion.
No, I agree. Now, real quick, you guys, hold your thought. We're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna hear an ad from our new sponsor, Dubby. Trevor, go ahead and take that away real quick.
All right. So, all right. Strength isn't given, it's taken. Every battle scar, the flesh, the weakness, the stain, the soul, fuel that fury, sharpen, focus, and silence the quiet inside you. Dubby, jitterless, resentless, limitless. First off, this product is delicious, hands down. Okay? I can tell you right now, it helps me in my everyday focus as a teacher when I'm lesson planning at 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay? 9 o'clock in the morning, there is no brain power until I have my W energy and I am full of all the brain power so I can power through the rest of my day and get the lesson plans done and actually get those turned in on time so I don't get in trouble like I'd be late for work.
And I can tell you right now, as somebody who also is using it, I'm using that dubstep sauce. And bro, every morning having that shit while I'm in a store by myself, having to pull myself away while making bread for $7,000 worth of sales, bro, that takes a toll on you. But you know what helps me get through it, man, is the W.
Yes, sir.
Man, it doesn't, and even when I'm done with my day, there's no crash. I don't feel jittery throughout the day. And it's nice because there's no added sugars, but it doesn't taste like there's no added sugars. It was
Debbie for the day.
surprising. Yeah, it was surprisingly worth it. Now, back to what we were talking about. I want to get more of your thoughts on this, Daniel. So, with the women's IC title making its debut at WrestleMania but not being defended, do you think that hurts the prestige of it, or does that hurt Lyra as a champion at all?
Dude, I guess you can call me biased. I don't feel like her title's really a big title. It's a title, but I just I don't think it's gonna hurt her at all. She's still a champion, I think, but I still think she should fucking defend it. I mean, excuse my language. I still think she should defend it and defend it a lot more often instead of just like I said at PLEs. That way, it could show that she does deserve it.
Yeah, make her. I
Make her
feel.
earn it. Make her earn it and make her keep it. Make her earn it to keep it. Don't be
Yeah,
like
no.
another.
I agree. I felt there was more stock in her character when she was without a title.
Right.
I mean, I was buying more.
Same thing with Chelsea Green.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Bro, same thing with Chelsea Green. How are you going to give her a title and then immediately just put her in the back row, man? Like, come on. She was your bread and butter. You had a TLC match. Who was there? Who was there to go through that table, bro?
Yeah, I was gonna say when you did that Money in the Bank match, bro, shit, and she even alluded it to her interview with Chris Van Vliet. If y'all ain't watched that Chris Van Vliet interview with her, man, y'all go check it out because I've been a fan of Chelsea Green for a few years, even prior to her in WWE at all. But man, this woman has grown so much. And dude, just hearing about her, just the stories, it's crazy. And her talking about the TLC spot, knowing that she was not gonna win that Money in the Bank match, and the mindset that she had of knowing she wasn't gonna win, but she was going through them tables.
I'm still gonna go through a table, yeah.
And the fact that she was gonna have to conquer her fear of heights, to me, I felt everything that she was doing led to her being your women's United States champion. I mean, you're not going to throw the women's title on her whatever. She's not a tag team person, so you need something for her. And yes, I feel this championship kind of was created for her.
Bro, I feel
But-
like they gave her the championship so they could keep her quiet so she could shut
Yeah.
up and be happy.
So I don't know if it was to shut her up or keep her. It was to keep her in the company. Because I'm going to tell everybody right now, if you don't know about Chelsea Green, go look up Reclusa with Lucha Underground. And look what Miss Chelsea Green really has under her belt.
I'm just waiting patiently. Patiently waiting.
Oh, well, here's the mic.
No. I'm
Oh.
I'm waiting on Reclusive to show up.
Hey, guys,
She's in there.
Guys, real quick. So y'all know we're having a party today, right?
Yes, sir. That's why I thought you were coming in the show.
We're having a birthday party. I haven't gotten dressed yet. Turns out my wig didn't come in when it was supposed to, so I'm not gonna have the proper wig for my costume. So I will not be winning the contest. Y'all seen the cartoon Ratatouille?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, my daughter managed to blend Jacob Fatu and Ratatouille for her costume.
That's amazing.
Word.
That's amazing.
So she likes to call Jacob Fatu and she calls him Jacob Ratatouille.
That's what's up.
Damn.
What's up.
So
Damn. Annabeth's
without
about to
further
have Jacob
ado,
coming after her.
yeah, hang on, watch this shit. Watch this. Anna, come here.
He goes send Solo with a Samoan spike.
That's so we'll just
Your
gonna
hat
come out of nowhere and run
Your hat
through a
up.
hole in his house.
I told them
Ah,
the backstory. Hey, so you guys,
You
you guys know the
talking
backstory, right?
yeah, I mean.
Hey, so y'all know the backstory.
Yes, sir.
All right. My wife's gonna be Seth Rollins. It's gonna be over the top.
I mean, if she's Seth Rollins, I feel like it's already going to be over the top.
Right.
I know,
Okay,
Sarah, bro. She knows she gonna take that shit to that level.
You gotta introduce it. Okay, you ready? Come on. Okay, don't shake your head. Ready? All right, guys. What do y'all think?
I'm Jacob Batatui.
I like
Fire
it.
too.
I
Look at the
like
shirt.
it.
Look at the shirt.
I love
That is dope.
Yes.
Bad. I love it. Oh, that's cool.
Hey,
And
can
what
we
does it
get an
say?
over under on
does that
Charlotte
say?
Flair's hair catching fire? The fire too.
I told her she needs to
Yeah.
take her head and throw her bring it back.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Doing that shit with dreads, man, that shit hurts. I didn't realize how bad that shit hurts.
So yeah, that's the party going on, man. My wig didn't come in, bro. I was waiting on my Ted DiBiase wig, but I was gonna be the $1 million man. I'm still gonna dress up in my suit, and I got my stacks of bills, and
Oh, that would have been fresh.
Oh, you just a $1,000 guy then.
yeah, I'm just a thousandaire. I'm the
Damn.
$1,000 man.
Oh man.
I should have went
Hey,
as
so
lukewarm. I should have went as lukewarm instead of Stone Cold.
oh yeah. He's got his pitch black.
Yeah, so that's it's gonna be fun, man. We got a lot of costume guys that are coming through. We got an Alexa Bliss. We got we got God, why can't I think of his goddamn name, bro? Yeah, come on, man. Anyway, we got LA Knight. We got an Undertaker. I think we may have a Stone Cold. We got a Rock coming. Uh, uh, Rhea Ripley. Yeah, it's
Y'all
gonna
got
be.
the whole, you got the
That
whole
sound
group
like
coming.
Everybody finna go all out.
Hey, I told you we have costume parties, bro. At my party, we had an '80s birthday party, dude, and everybody came
We,
'80s
we
down in
gotta
the,
go
in the
party
neon,
with Scully.
in the neons, and the spandex, bro, and the fucking the
Weren't
fanny
you in
pack,
like your 20s in the 80s?
bro. The fanny pack. Like, fuck you, bro. But yes. With all due respect, my language. But yes.
But wait, I was talking to Derek.
Oh,
He's been quiet.
Derek, why you quiet, Derek?
Look, damn
He
it.
said I plead the fifth. He said I plead the fifth.
I'm actually dying over here with my mic muted, listening to you tell your stories about your stuff, man. I'm literally dying over here. It's great.
Dude, we're gonna have lots of fun, dude. We're gonna have lots of fun,
I bet
dude.
it's a blast. I bet it's a blast.
last year for Sarah's birthday, we did a Dolly Parton dress up party, bro. So even the guys came dressed like Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah.
It was absolutely amazing, bro. One of my buddies won because he came in with the big old boobs, bro, and with balloons and stuff. It was awesome. So we give away gifts. We give this year we're giving away slap bracelets with belts that are belts, championship
Hell
belts.
yeah.
And
Yeah, we gotta go to one of these parties.
yeah, and
Bro,
for
we
the
already
Dolly
trying to make
Parton
a, we already trying
for
to plan
the
a trip to go see Scully.
for the Dolly Parton party, man, I gave away a $150 tattoo.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
That's why I'm trying to go see
For,
Scully is the ink.
for the winner, bro. Like I'm saying, we have some fun parties, bro. We don't play around.
Hey, wait. We could get tattoos for tattoo.
Yeah.
Hey, you can tell it's WrestleMania, bro.
It's WrestleMania, bro. Hey, I'm telling you, today's gonna be fun. We got a
Yeah.
big party going on.
Hey, so we're gonna start a new segment real quick, and this is sponsored by W Energy, but we're calling it our High Energy Superstar of the Week. And bro, first off, I'm gonna give a shout out to Chad Gable because he is my High Energy Superstar of the Week.
He's my to the moon, Alice high energy.
Yes, sir, all the way. And I'm gonna say it because not only is he doing great shit with Alpha Academy, not only has he been shit. You know what? Let me just run it back real quick. From American Alpha with Jason Jordan, turning into Alpha Academy, you had Shorty G in the middle of that. Then then you go ahead and fast forward Alpha Academy. They grow, and look what he did with Otis and Tozawa. He attempted to do it with Maxine, and I think he succeeded because you see the work in progress that she has done.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, oh yeah, I've seen Maxine. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah. So that being said, you see what he's going on. You see what he's got going on with American Made now. And he doesn't just, he's got proven work with the people that need coaching, and he's also got now proven work with the young talent. This man right here needs a singles title in 2025, and we need to have it here before he decides to just say fuck it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward on what he's doing in current day as well. He's got this alter ego as...
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. The
talking
El
about?
Grande Taco Americano.
Who is that?
Bro, hey, look.
That motherfucker said taco.
I think it's Kurt Angle, bro.
It's clearly Vince McMahon. What are you talking about?
Yeah, they seen the images?
The images say it's Vince McMahon.
Of the Grand Taco Americano?
Yeah, but see, what I was saying though, bro, is look at Chad Gable alone, bro. He's been doing some fucking fantastic work going on, I want to say 5 years now. Because at least I've been watching again now for at least 5 years. And since then, he has been putting in the work. Has he always been a top guy? No, I'm not fucking saying that. I'm not saying throw the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE title on him. We already have a mid-card guy as a champion right now in Cody Rhodes. We don't need two. But what we do need,
Womp, 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 womp.
what we do need is
Where's Corey? Corey, come defend your champion.
Corey's champion is gonna be the last real champion. He's already broken hearted that his boyhood dream turned heel.
So Cody is losing his belt tonight, huh?
Huh?
Cody is losing his belt.
We'll talk about that in the predictions here in a little bit.
Okay.
I can't really say yet. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting for booking to text me back on what their decision is. I keep getting. Please wait. But let me talk about this though. This Nacho Belgrande character. I like what they're doing because I'm familiar with the Lucha Underground and the Lucha Libre and what the power of this mask of the Grande Americano possesses. I just do not feel that this match with Rey Mysterio should be on the card.
Pre-show.
It should have been a pre-show. It could have been a Raw match. It could have been a Raw after Mania match. You could have fought this shit until fucking Backlash. You didn't need to waste a WrestleMania card spot with this. This is another spot where
Chad Gable didn't even get on the WrestleMania card.
Yeah, like you, and if I'm Chad Gable, bro, I should be a little bit pissed because you left this guy Chad Gable off the card that has been doing the work for these last few years, and you're having me portray this El Grande Americano character because yes, I can't beat luchadors, so I'm gonna put this mask on and go into battle against Rey Mysterio, the greatest luchador of all time. And you know what, bro? I'm just gonna say it. I do believe that El Grande Taco Belgrande Americano wins, but I feel this match is so mid tier.
Yeah, Trevor just can't get over the fact you keep calling him Grande Taco Americano.
Oh, I'm dead, but that's why I'm swapping up the names, bro. I just want to see how much more I can get him to break character. But the fact is, man, you did not even put a stipulation. Like, who is this character? Oh, look, we're talking about it on TV right now. But you didn't even put a stipulation like mask for mask. You mean to tell me that we have the opportunity to either unmask the El Grande Americano after Mania and find out who he really is, or
we already know who he is?
Exactly, or you have the opportunity to take off Mysterio's mask?
What?
No, I don't know who it is behind the Taco Bell mask.
I'm talking about Rey Mysterio.
Oh, well, yeah. That
you know what I'm
weird.
saying? What do you win on that? Weird. If anything, it should be like...
If it's a legit Taco Bell mask, it's my wife. My wife is behind that mask.
That's beautiful.
I don't know.
Damn, you mean to tell me Sarah's gonna get a WrestleMania match before me? Yo, look at Rey Mysterio with all 67,000 fucking luchadors from the WWE.
That's beautiful.
Yo, Ray Phoenix
and about Kier.
Yeah.
She's back up there. Glad to see she's looking okay.
She always looks okay.
Well, I meant from her stand and deliver match.
Yeah, that was a gruesome match.
My apologies. I wasn't completely clear on that.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But I just want to say, man, like with what they're doing with this El Grande, you should have really put a stipulation for that mask up on the card. Because that is the only thing that would have made this match more appealing to me.
I think what Rey Mysterio should do, Rey Mysterio should wear a metal plate on the inside of his head as well.
I see that. I can see that.
I mean, does anybody notice Andrade standing on the side over here to the left? with this other crowd. The way they're split apart. Anybody noticing like the faction split, so to speak? Pretty crazy.
If you wanna think about it, they were in the beginning. They were trying to recruit Andrade to the LWO.
It's Kurt Angle,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, I remember. I remember.
And if
It's
you
Kurt
look
Angle, bro.
if you look who's to your right or to your left, could this be a foregone conclusion in the future when you got Stephanie Valkyrie with Legado del Fantasma? Because that would be a very interesting thing.
See, now you're piquing my interest and got the wheels turning.
Why does Dragon Lee look like he's supposed to be in fucking Game of Thrones?
He's the Red Dragon.
He really does.
He do got that vibe.
He looked like he's supposed to be part of the Stark family.
Now,
You guys are inside watching. You guys are inside watching. I'm outside on the other end because I can't be inside and be online and talk because it's too loud in my house because there's too many fucking people right now.
okay,
So enjoy your watch. I hate it here.
we'll be your source of entertainment.
I hate it here.
Now, I want to keep the energy towards what I've been calling a crazy booking these last couple of matches we've been talking about. And I want to look at the women's championship match real quick. So, first off, you're forcing us to sit through another Charlotte Flair championship match. And I just want to say it's complete bullshit. Because I get it. Like, I get it, man. She won the Rumble. But one, you forced her as a winner. Like, you could have easily had Bianca win it. You could have had
No.
why? You could have had Io win it. Because let me real quick, and this is where I'm getting at on it. Now I wanna break this down because I went through and I thought about this. And I know you came in a little bit later, Daniel. I was telling everybody that with what I'm doing with these matches right now, like I love the WrestleMania card. Like the WrestleMania match card to me is almost better than last year's.
Okay, but real quick before you get into that,
Okay.
have y'all talked about the women's matches lately? Have y'all talked about Io Sky and Bianca and them yet?
That's where I'm going at with it right here. Because it's not just going to be focused on Charlotte. This is all around the women's championship matches.
Because I want to talk about on how they keep disrespecting Io, bro, and just throwing her to the side, and how they keep trying to push Rhea Ripley as a champion, bro.
I look at it. Look at what it is. It is your two. You got three multi-time women champions in this match. And I get it, like it's gonna be exciting because it's three multi-time women champions all going to show who is the best of the last couple of years.
Triple H's girl.
And this is Triple H's girls right here, through and through.
Well, you
Like,
bring
yeah,
that up.
Io-
Let me throw a stat out. You bring that statement up you just made about being Triple H's girls. I mentioned earlier pre-show that I watched the Hall of Fame speech, right? And Triple H is somebody. Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin are my two idols as far as the wrestling industry goes. And I grew up way back. Like I remember watching Mr. Wrestling 1 and Mr. Wrestling 2. That's how old I am. So let me go ahead and go back and acknowledge that earlier.
So you were in your 20s and the early 80s.
Garrett,
Yeah.
what was it? What was it like when you were running from the T-Rexes, bro? What was the top speed?
Hey, so you would actually be able to tell us which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Did you invent the dirt? or the mud.
But needless to say, y'all threw my brain off the topic. I've really hit some medication really well. What were we talking about?
Well, here's what I was getting at on this. So
got my
I'm poking a hole in what I'm considering lazy or crazy booking
Uh-huh.
for WrestleMania, and I'm considering this the lazy booking because yes, this women's triple threat match for the championship, I get it. Like yeah, the last couple of years, this has been your women's championship matches. You either had Io defending it last year against Bayley. You've had Rhea and Charlotte twice. You've had Rhea and Asuka. You've had Charlotte and Bayley. You've had Charlotte and Becky. You've had Charlotte and Becky and Ronda. You've had Charlotte and fuck, bro. I don't know. Jesus' mom, her grandmother, anybody and everybody, bro. What I'm getting at,
Don't forget the woo.
yeah. So here's what I'm getting at is one. You didn't need Charlotte to win the fucking Royal Rumble. Cool, she came back. Congratulations, you came back after almost 2 years. One, you don't need to win the Royal Rumble. You're not the bitch. And I say this with all due respect to the women's wrestlers, but you were not the one that should have been first 2-time Royal Rumble winner.
No.
It should have not have been. You should have not have had that prestige. You should have not had your name on that. Because I don't give a fuck what your last name is.
Yeah, just because I see that to me is like true nepotism, bro. Like
because see,
and Tiff called her out on it.
Oh, she did.
You got nothing. You have nothing but woo. That's
and
it.
I'm gonna get more into the whole Charlotte Flair aspect because I feel Tiffany's being disrespected.
Yes, bro. Look, Tiff even said it. She's out here to. She's not gonna be bullied, bro. She's not gonna be bullied. She's here to whoop the bully's ass, and that's what she's gonna do.
Yeah, she did what she had to do, and I know what you're talking about because I've seen part of that interview, and in my opinion, the fact that she went and defended herself in the way she knew how, and yeah, she called it a kill shot, and that did exactly what the fuck you intended it to do, and I am so proud of you for that.
Yeah, she intended it to be. Yeah, like she said, she intended it.
So here's where I was going at with it. If I had to be the booker, since I do my armchair booking, here's what I would have done. Charlotte can return, man. That's cool. You could have had Charlotte and Bianca as your final two. You could have had Charlotte and Io as your final two. You could have had Charlotte and whoever as your final two. But it did not have to be Charlotte going over. But you have that, and like I'm thinking Bianca, so I have Bianca written down. So you got Bianca eliminating Charlotte. She chooses Tiffany as her opponent because that keeps her on SmackDown because that's going to give her future storyline plans involving the Naomi and Jade because the Naomi and Jade shit isn't over just because we think it's done. So now I get it. You had Bianca in an elimination chamber. That way you can get Jade to come back because Naomi's in there and you can get her to get attacked. That's cool. But did that really do anything? Yeah, Bianca won. But you could have had her at the Rumble as a winner. And you could have done something with it.
You could have had Alexa Bliss win it.
Oh, we have a flip really quick. Rey Mysterio cannot compete tonight as being announced live right now on the pre-show.
Rey Mysterio can't.
We have Rey Fenix making his WrestleMania debut along with his motherfucking brother Penta. Shout out to the Lucha Brothers for making their WrestleMania debut, and shout out to the Lucha Brothers for signing that WWE contract and being where they're fucking well respected instead of sitting in the back at some company.
I love that shit. That is so. I'm super stoked about that.
Lucha.
Listen to me right now. as a WWE Nepo baby. Yeah, because I'm a WWE Nepo baby since we calling ourselves Nepo Queens and Nepo babies and shit.
Number one Nepo Queen.
We need that as a sound on the soundboard. Anyways, back to what I was saying.
Coming soon.
You know what? Triple H is out here playing 4D chess while that other motherfucker is playing checkers. He just put on him and Shawn Michaels just put on an instant classic with Stand and Deliver, where you had Ethan Page versus Ricky Saints, and you even had the crowd saying, "What, Buck?"
Tony fumbled.
And Triple H is like, all right, let's just go ahead and push the needle a little bit more. So your ex EVP Cody is already in the main event. Jade's on the show. Penta's on the show. Ray Phoenix is on the show. I mean, we're playing 4D chess. And I'm so happy. I like competition.
You
I
know,
do.
talking about that you speaking about these I'm gonna say it, AEW prospects moving over. You know, something that I learned last night.
And
that-
WWE has purchased Triple A, as being announced right now.
Yeah, I've seen that a few minutes ago. But this card, this WrestleMania card, if you take a look at all the individual wrestlers, well over half of them come through NXT.
Yeah.
Almost all of them. You know, you got a few of them like Roman and Roman and Seth were brought in by CM Punk technically to be his protector, so to speak. That was the original idea for them. But like, and John Cena, but like Tiffany Stratton, you got.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I like it. Look at him.
Oh, that's great. Dude, that's actually really good.
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my suit on, my good suit, my Sunday clothes,
I love it.
Let's go.
flaunt my money
I
around.
love
You
it.
know, I'm gonna put money in my pocket, in all the pockets. You know, got my money ready.
Yes, sir.
Still got my money ready.
But all right, so let me jump back to what we were talking about with this women's championship real quick. So, like, with the armchair booking, my winner would have been Bianca because I get her at Tiffany. It doesn't mean that she has to win because I can still easily set up Jade, Naomi, and Bianca down the line. Because we seen that last night in that little
Ayo.
that thing, and maybe
Ayo.
if that is your only reason that we're doing separate matches like this right now, cool. But I feel we could have gone about it a little bit different because my elimination chamber is I'd have had Rhea defending her title against Roxanne. Actually, Roxanne would have been replaced by Charlotte. You had Io replaces Bianca. Io wins that championship at the Elimination Chamber. Jade returns to attack Naomi still. You can still have Rhea in the match right now. Like, who the fuck cares? It could be a rematch. Who cares? But at Mania, it could have been Tiffany and Bianca, Rhea versus Io. To me, Charlotte and Bayley could have been going for the women's tag team titles. And you still get Naomi and Jade. The finish, though, you would have got Jade beating Naomi, Tiffany beating Bianca because Naomi interference. And that would have initially set up for you getting Bianca and Naomi, and then Bianca and Jade. Because I think it comes out that Naomi, or I think it comes out from Naomi that Jade, or that Bianca was behind the attack on Jade. Maybe not necessarily saying, hey, yeah, you go do this, but maybe put it in Naomi's head of, yeah, if Jade wasn't here, yeah, we could be tag team champions. Yeah, if Jade wasn't here, we could do this together. And you know how the things go like that, bro.
I get that.
It could just be a foregone. And it to me, that's just as bad as going, hey, go do this. But that's my thoughts on all this. I feel that was lazy booking.
I get that.
So
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of had Roxanne Perez winning the Rumble when I saw how like deep she was going. But then I even said after the fact that
I
if
would
we
have been
were
okay
gonna
with
have
that.
a 2-time Royal Rumble winner, it should be somebody that's been there consistently putting in the work, and that's Bailey.
Bianca, Bailey.
I would have went Bailey if you was gonna give it to one of your big four.
I would have been okay with Bailey. I would not have been like, what the fuck, one bit. That would have been great. My issue, and I want everybody to kind of chime in with their opinions, but I feel that last name is the only reason Charlotte has any sort of success.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put her on the Mount Rushmore because if you take away the name, you take away everything. Because without the name, she's mid, and mid is being nice.
Mid and being super nice.
Alexa Bliss said it best in 2019. Without a championship,
You're just a person in the back.
you're just a person. What would you say to the people? Who are you? And yet, Charlotte has yet to be around steadily to prove that.
Well, I mean, hell, if you look at it, Becky Lynch did an interview and said she's in Charlotte's head. And if you can't get that out of your head that, hey, okay, she might be bigger, but you're going to use your nepotism to try to like outdo her, that's going to dilute what you've been doing. Like, have all your title runs been shitty? No. Some of them have been well deserved, and some of them, yeah. Okay, a little nepotism don't hurt, but if you're gonna nepotism your way into 16 titles just so you
If that's the case, why isn't fucking Bret Hart's daughter really big? And you know what? I just heard a rumor not too long ago from the man himself. Y'all better watch out for the Duggan twins, the Duggan sisters.
I mean, if we're gonna go with that, then why isn't The Rock's daughter more than just an NXT GM?
Right?
You call it what it is, bro. You put Ric Flair and The Rock at the same time, in the same era, The Rock's a bigger superstar than Ric Flair ever will be.
Bro, 120%, bro.
Well, in my opinion, as far as Charlotte Flair goes, I I think she's a little bit better than mid as far as her actual abilities. Now, maybe not right now whatsoever. Her consistency, just like in any professional sport, your consistency and eligibility to be able to be active, be on the roster. In this particular aspect, we need you to be at the shows. We need you to be on the road. We need you to be be able to be at the PLEs. Um, so that has an effect on it. But I do believe that she gets a little bit of garnership because of her name. That's nothing to be questioned. I think she does get garnership because of her name, her last name. Is it deserved?
No.
I think the Nature Boy put in his work. Now, that being said, we're talking about Charlotte Flair. Early on in her career, you mentioned the big four. You got the original four horsewomen, which was Sasha, Bailey, Becky and Charlotte. And I believe that they really, during that era, it for me, I didn't watch women's wrestling much. Um, when they were divas, I was more for me when wrestling. I was into the storylines and I was into the actual physical aspect, the
So
physicality of it more so.
Brooke Hogan was never in there.
Huh?
Brooke Hogan was never in there at that time.
No, Brooke Hogan was not even attractive to me first and foremost.
Shit, Brooke Hogan's fine as fuck. Just sucks that her dad is.
I'm more of a Lita fan.
Brooke Hogan's not a wrestler though.
No.
At first, I was just saying in general. I'm still a Lita guy.
But yeah,
I
so
still
I think she's getting a little leeway with the last name, but I don't think she's as mid as maybe perceived right here.
I think it's possibly you can say or get the feeling of mid because all the injuries she goes through. I mean, and don't get me wrong,
Fair.
injury slowed down.
That's fair.
Injury slowed down an athletic person, so I get it. But I think another big problem of hers is because she has in her head that she has to be the top. Probably because she's feeling like she has to get justification from daddy. That's what it feels like. So I feel like she over pushes herself and she's never fully healed. So then she comes back on bum legs, tries to put on a spectacle.
She was so worried about Andrade cheating on her. He left. She came back. Was so upset. I mean, I do know she was supposed to be back at one point. It just kind of was hindered because of a setback.
I don't want to attack.
No, and I get it, man. 38 years old, your body ain't gonna heal the same way.
Right, and Boo Boo, like, I feel like you're at a point where, let's be realistic. Okay, maybe you deserve one more actual title run, but after that, let's just be the other way of the Nepo baby or the Nepo queen. Make it where you're at 13 rings right now? Okay, get 14 and make it where nobody can come get close to 14 unless you give your approval. Kind of how like Ric Flair feels, but in actuality, Ric Flair's is justified. He's only held one title 16 times. So and
Hey, get it right. 16 time champion.
Woo!
like I'm not gonna lie, there was a point I liked Charlotte, but then it was like, okay, this is a little too much now, and I mean, you're maybe because I don't come from a privileged background to be able to use my last name to get whatever I want. That's just never worked for me. Because like, oh, I could use my name and get whatever I want. That's a little dangerous and weird. I don't know. But I'm done with that topic. I don't want to talk about the blonde bimbo no more. It's Tiffy time!
Tiffy time!
Well, I was about to say, man, y'all are helping me out with this shit because right now we are actually at that point. We are at simulations and predictions. Thanks to all that, brought to you by WWE 2K25. The Bloodline Edition. It's available now on all your streaming gaming networks.
All right. What? So
shout out to Puffco.
Are we just gonna go down the actual main of WrestleMania card and we give our predictions and talk about the simulation?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, let's go.
So first and foremost, man, if y'all ain't checked it out, go hit up the Real 88 YouTube channel. That is Real 88, and that shit's scrolling across your screen. So you ain't gonna have me spelling shit for you today. Because it's WrestleMania season, not spelling bee season. Now, you go on that YouTube, you can go through and you can see that we had every match available. And thank you, Derek, for letting me know that we did not stream the Fatal 4-Way match the way I thought it did. So that was up. So if you ain't checked that out, go ahead and check that out there too. But first and foremost, we do know that Jay and Gunther are opening up WrestleMania tonight. Before we get into the predictions with everybody around, WWE 2K25 has Jay beating Gunther to become your new World Heavyweight Champion. Now, I'm going to start with you, Trevor. I'm going to go around the room. Who you got in this one?
We're gonna have
Same
a
as the
special guest
simulation,
picker,
Jay
Ted
Uso.
DiBiase,
I'm yeeting.
the $1,000
Yeet.
man.
Oh,
My
look at
dog.
him. Look at him. Money, 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 money.
This motherfucker look like, bro, he look like John Goodman.
Hey, I don't even care. I'm just trying to wear a costume and be festive.
My dog look like a blues brother.
My
Hey,
dog looks like money, 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 money.
and I didn't want to wear spandex, bro, and be OTs.
Hey, this is if Honky Tonk Man was in 2025.
You know what I'm saying? I wish I had a microphone and looked more like Jimmy Hart.
I was about to say, this motherfucker got the whole mouth of the South. Alright, hey, so Daniel, what you got, man? Jay or Gunther?
Hey, bro, yeah.
Yeet.
Yeet. You
Uh-oh.
yeet.
Uh-oh. We yeeted too hard.
Damn.
We
Oh,
yeeted
yeah.
the guest away.
Did y'all yeet out the room?
Sorry, that yeeted me to the opposite side of the stream.
I was about to say, I think Daniel did too.
Y'all yeeted yourselves away.
Oof. Alright, so.
Since we're yeeting hard.
Yeah.
Well, now that I arrived, I'd like to address the situation at hand. First off, the simulation, the coolest part about the whole thing was if you didn't watch it.
My bad. My bad. Yeet.
Yeet.
I was about to say, all y'all yeeted yourself out the room. Like, way too hard.
I did. I said yeet. My fucking phone turned off, bro.
Damn. So
bad.
that simulation was actually really great because when it started off, Jey Uso was not only coming down the stands, he was like floating. I don't know if anybody else caught that.
No, I did, because I was running a simulation, and I'm like, yo, the one time your ass comes down from the crowd. I play with him. I've played with Jey Uso probably a dozen plus times, bro, and not one time has he ever come from the crowd.
That's crazy. But so for me, I think this storyline with Jay, not the Gunther Jay storyline, I think that deserves redemption from Jay's side. So I think that's a huge momentum shift for me in this storyline to lean towards Jay coming out the victor. But you look back over the last year and a half at the storyline of Jey Uso, the main event Jey Uso, and it culminates tonight. And I believe he walks out, like we discussed earlier, setting that tone for the rest of the weekend, because Jey Uso and the momentum he has built is the perfect role to put in that particular position that we were talking about earlier, as far as opening up the show, and not only opening up the show, but winning that title. And I think he's going to do it tonight.
All right. So, and I will tell you right now, I'm eating with everybody else, bro. I do got Jey Uso winning the World Heavyweight Championship, and I was talking to the T about it earlier.
Hey guys, shout out to my brother who got me into wrestling again. What's
Yeah.
up? What's
Yeah.
up? Who you got winning? Jay or Gunther?
I want Jay to win. I want Jay to win, and I hope he wins. And but
Cross your heart.
you know, you know these storylines, bro. You know these storylines, but I want to know.
Look at that. Look at that. Yeet.
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 Yeah, we got this.
All right, so I got Jay winning, and I think like I agree with your brother, bro. Like, yeah, we normally do storylines. You want Jay to win, bro. We crave it, and then they just pull the trigger and say, "Nah, bro, it's Gunther." I think we start Mania off
I
with
like it.
with a
I
plot
like it.
twist. Yeah. But I think we start Mania off with a plot twist, bro, and we do get a new world heavyweight champion. We get Vegas yeeting. And that right there is just going to set the tone that do not expect the expected. I think the entire tone for WrestleMania in Vegas these next 2 days is do not expect the expected. Bet on the underdog. And the underdog tonight and in this match is Jey Uso. And I think he walks out of Las Vegas as your new World Heavyweight Champion. I agree with you, Trevor. I think the simulation was correct. And I think Derek might be correct too. By the end of the night, Jey Uso is going to be walking on air.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, what's that link for you guys where y'all play your game and podcast on? My bro wants to know.
The YouTube channel?
Yes.
I will send you the link.
Yeah, he wants to check it out. He wants to get in on it. He said if he said it right now, he's gonna start following it so he can get on it.
I got you. I'm sending it over while we're working this right now.
Thank you, sir.
So with that being said,
Go check it. That's what we got going
we're going to slide over and we're going to kick into what was the Rey Mysterio and the El Grande Americano match, which is now the Rey Fenix and the El Grande Americano match. The simulations got El Grande winning this.
Simulations got Grande winning,
but it's not Ray right now no
I
more.
don't know who's
no,
winning.
but it's got a.
I'm gonna be honest with you. With it being Rey Mysterio, I was gonna go with the simulation because I felt that put over El Grande
Right.
of beating a luchador finally. Maybe he exposes himself accidentally on purpose. But now that you got Rey Fenix in this motherfucker, I think, I'm going to flip my own prediction, bro, because, anything can happen in the WWE. Anything can happen here, too, bro. I'm flipping my prediction. I think Rey Fenix brings home the dub.
I think Rey Fenix brings home the W. Yes. Yeah.
I'm going with Rey Fenix based off SmackDown last night.
And I think that's why I took the match.
I'm going with the heel turn.
Rey Fenix.
I think that's why Phoenix took on the match because he did cost him that opportunity.
Also, shout out to Mello.
I think that Grande Americana is going to win this match.
Say that again.
I think because of the injury to Rey, you need a good storyline to carry Rey Fenix. When I said injury, I'm talking about Rey Mysterio. So you need a storyline to carry Rey Fenix in. And to be honest with you, you were discussing Chad Gable earlier. Chad Gable is the perfect guy to put in a program with Rey Fenix for the next few days or for the next few months or few weeks at minimum. But I do believe that him beating Rey Fenix helps propel that storyline and helps push Rey Fenix bigger in the end than having necessarily an undefeated record, so to speak.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think
No, you do it all the way.
I don't think you need to add Rey Fenix to that because I feel if Rey Mysterio's hurt and you can't have Rey Mysterio in that
There's the bottom of that.
involved in it, I get the Rey Fenix
Yeah,
stepping
both.
up because of what happened last night in the Battle Royal. To me, that kind of
That's what makes it make sense.
that makes sense for that moment. But if you're gonna have somebody really stand behind Rey and stand for him, why not be Dragon Lee? I'm not
You were
against
saying
like
that. I
I'm
agree
not
with that.
against
I
Rey
agree.
Phoenix. You know,
Right.
being the luchador that he is, you know, knowing Rey Mysterio, the respect they both have for each other, you know, I wouldn't be opposed if you went that route, but I don't think that is I don't think that works long term. That is what I would be considering crazy or lazy booking. And I feel I don't know. I feel like they did save that match. I feel that match was kind of saved and upgraded just a little bit more, just because you took out Rey Mysterio and added in Rey Phoenix, and
Also,
that's not a disrespect to Rey
No, it's
Mysterio.
not. Also, all I was gonna say is we are 59 minutes away from our opening ding ding ding.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Annabeth wants to show y'all her costume now.
Let's
All
Come here,
go.
Annabeth.
right.
She's got to say her entrance. Ready?
You know what? I'm sold. That's
That's
my
awesome.
winner. That's my winner.
Yeah.
That's my winner right there.
You're the winner right now so far.
That's my winner.
Hey, check the hair ties. Hair ties are like my best friend right now.
Oh yeah, that's my winner.
Fatu.
I'm telling you, we're doing it, dog. We're doing it. Who are you
They
supposed to
are
be, Lily?
showing the heist
Hey, look.
of
She
the
might win.
sex
She might win the
trade.
costume. She might win
My-
the costume award.
My
But
other
Daniel,
daughter,
real
my
quick,
other daughter's
Daniel,
AJ Lee. Look,
you're winning the Dad of the Weekend
my
award.
other daughter's AJ Lee.
Holy
Oh,
cow,
she
she's
did
pulling that
good.
off, bro. Wow, that's really
She
good. That's really good.
she gonna have who's CM Punk?
She's CM Punk.
Why? We're going hard, right? Okay. But yeah, we're doing it.
We're cashing in.
All right,
Look,
so
Sarah's already got
moving.
her bun up. Sarah's got her bun up for her dude for Seth Rollins. She ain't got dressed yet. She's gonna get dressed right now. She'll be out here in a minute so you guys can see it.
All right, well, she ain't got no gaudy jacket or headdress or sunglasses or.
Oh wait.
Oh, okay.
He's even got the walk down and everything when he comes down. He's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, dude.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
Got
need
his little
all.
walk down
Hey,
when he comes
Daniel,
down.
I'm gonna need you to take all your blow torches and everybody that is capable in your house. Y'all gonna have to figure out how to do this correctly. But I'm gonna need y'all to use your torches as your little as the Seth Rollins pyro, and we'll sing the whoa part.
We got the background, and we're gonna play the music for everybody's entrance when they walk through.
Yeah.
Their costume is, and I'm gonna put it in the Amazon.
Yeah, she's gonna put it in the Amazon music thing, and we're gonna play all the intros for everybody when they walk in with it.
All right, so while we're waiting on Sarah, we're gonna jump into this next one real quick. We got Naomi and Jade.
Jade, all day.
All day.
Hey, I'm all about. I'm all
I'm
about
gonna
Jade
go.
Cargill.
I'm going with Jade. WWE 2K25 is going with Jade. What you got, T?
There's no explanation needed. I'm going with the Storm.
That's
Okay.
a clean sweep. Yeah, that's a clean sweep. Storm's coming, bro.
Yes, sir.
Jade, Grand Slam.
All right, so the laziest match of the night, the New Day versus the War Raiders.
Oh, that was Sunday.
Raiders. Raiders are winning.
Either way, I got to wait.
Wait. They may give it to the new New Day.
I was about to say I got New Day winning because the only explanation that I got is that is why they're on the card is because of the fact that they're gonna win for some fucking stupid reason. And I'm betting it's for Big E to, for them to talk shit to Big E on post show.
We did it without you. We didn't need you.
Now, let's move forward to the men's Intercontinental Fatal 4-Way match. The simulation has Pinto winning. I got Dirty Dom winning. And I got Dirty Dom pinning Finn Balor to win the IC championship.
Can you get out my
I got
head?
Dirty
'Cause I have
Dom
the
winning.
same thing.
And
Yeah.
I got the same
Yeah.
ending scenario.
Same exact way.
Maybe
Well, okay, I can tell you how I get to the finish. I see Braun. I see everybody. It's when everybody at the end of the match go to hit their finisher, and Finn gets speared. Somehow it overthrows or Dom throws Braun out the ring, climbs up, frog splash, uno, dos, tres, and he makes his father Eddie proud.
Are y'all watching Jey Uso in his room? He said he's never been in a room
I'm
that
not gonna
nice.
lie, I'm kind of excited to see what Dom's gear gonna look like.
Yes. It is going to be so lit.
I should have came as
So-
Paul Bearer, bro.
United States Championship on the line. LA Knight defending it against Jacob Fatu.
I got Fatu winning the title, bro.
I was going to say 2K25 says Fatu is your new United States champion.
I think Fatu wins the champion. I think he wins. It's his
I
time.
think Fatu's your new champion.
Yep. Fatu beats LA Knight.
Oh, yeah.
I think LA Knight is. I think it's a good time to move him into the championship title contention, and it's a great time to put a belt on Jacob Fatu.
Nah, hear me
Samoan
out.
Wolverine.
Hear me out. I don't have Fatu winning.
What? Oh, what?
Think about some of the promos he said to Solo. I'm going to do something that nobody hasn't been doing. I'm going to bring a title back to this family. Maybe that made a Solo feel some type of way. And Solo's not on the card. So Solo goes and calls Fatu. And that's the only reason I see LA Knight retaining. Now,
so you
I
say
would also
Solo
love.
Fatu.
So you saying that? You saying?
Hang on. I would also love on his way to the ring. Fatu is telling us how he finna whip LA Knight's ass from post to post,
From coast to coast,
all over the Nevada state.
Yeah, I mean,
Bah.
Ooh, hey, so what you're trying to tell me is Solo's got a death wish.
Yes.
I like where you're at with it.
Now, granted, it may not happen that way, and I could be completely wrong. And if Fatu wins, I'm completely happy with it. I'm just thinking outside the box on this one, just because you
Fucking
can tell
heel
a whole
turn.
different story. Also, you got Melo coming up. Melo versus LA Knight for the title again. I kind of like that too. Yeah,
I don't know. But Melo and Fatu in a few series of matches, maybe Melo takes the U.S. title off of Fatu with some guidance from The Miz.
Okay.
And speaking of Melo, shout out to Melo last night. Anybody did watch SmackDown?
Yeah.
He won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal.
There you go. So, now we're gonna lead right into the women's world title. We got Charlotte versus Tiffany.
Look.
What's up and go? Freaking Rollins.
Oh damn! Whoa.
Oh,
Hey,
and she got
and
the
let's not
bun.
forget.
And
Hey,
she
Jeff
got the
Hardy.
bun.
Hey, Jeff Hardy in the house.
Hey.
Yeah. I told you
Oh, we
guys.
got the
So,
new
yeah,
day.
I
We
told
got
y'all,
the boo
man.
boo day.
That's what's up.
Y'all wish y'all could be here, right?
Why
Yeah.
Xavier Woods look like a dollar store weekend?
Why he look like a dollar store swerve?
Hey, I'm gonna talk to you guys. I'll call you guys later if y'all are still on.
Yes, sir. Alright. Now, keeping on with our predictions and simulation. We got the simulation has Charlotte defeating Tiffany and becoming your 15-time women's champion. I, on the other hand, got Tiffany remaining your women's champion. What you got, T?
You know what? The simulation can go bye bye. The simulation can go bye bye. I don't need that kind of negativity on this wonderful time of the year. Because the simulation is wrong. All the way wrong. The simulation is wrong. It is Tiffy time. It is Tiffy time. That's what my watch say. And then, oh, if I look again, it still say it's Tiffy time. We're not gonna give her no short title reign just to appease nobody.
I wouldn't.
I'm not.
I mean, the only way I could justify giving her a short title reign is if, necessarily the fans weren't behind her, or,
Like you did Liv Morgan the first time.
or maybe like you, in my opinion, like you did Julia and Stephanie Vaquer in NXT.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Because, I mean, look at it. Stephanie Vaquer vacated one of the titles because, hey, I just going to give a fair shot. I can dig something like that. You could have ran it up like something like that. But in my opinion, bro, Tiffany has been cooking for well over a year at this point. Let her continue. Let her cook. That's
It is
all I got to
definitely
say
Tiffy
on
time.
it.
It is definitely Tiffy time. I think I kind of, and I'm a Charlotte Flair fan to a degree, but at the same time, I think Tiffany. Look, you got to be able to. This chick deserves the spotlight, and she's got the ability. She's got the skill. She's definitely got the skill set that it takes to beat a Charlotte Flair in a match. So let's not forego the obvious. But at the same time, yeah, it's Tiffany Stratton. There's no question.
I mean, I would like to kind of like close on this part. It would be nice if even after some of the comments, because the promo was let's be real, the promo was a shit show. But it would be nice that after this match, if Charlotte was to at least, handshake acknowledge that, all right, respect kind of shit. Because I feel like low key got to put Charlotte back in the good graces of some fans. Like, I still like Charlotte as a fan. I just don't like your nepotism.
Agreed. To me, it's the nepotism for it all.
But yeah, I'm done on that topic. It's Tiffy time.
All right, well, now heading into your main event of night one, you got Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins, and CM Punk with, hold on, Paul Heyman in his corner. This is going to be an intriguing match, man, because this shit can go a variety of ways. How you got this going, Trevor?
my winner. You said the prediction, the simulation said who won?
Oh, the simulation had Roman Reigns.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um, my winner is a visionary, revolutionary, Seth freaking Rollins. That's my winner. Now, he's been cutting some promos and he's been making a valid point. He's like, if you really look at the grand scheme of things, you take that, okay, you take off the glasses that we wear where we overanalyze everything, and even wrestling fans that don't even see the picture, take the glasses off and step back. Without Seth Rollins, would Roman Reigns be where Roman Reigns is at? And then let's not forget, as much as we love CM Punk, and don't get me wrong, I love CM Punk. He did leave us. Granted, it was toxic, but you left us. And you left us, and it got worse.
A lot worse.
And I feel like without Seth Rollins, let's be real, without Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and a few others, until Roman came and saved us in COVID, and yes, I can say Roman saved us in COVID. I am brave enough to say that.
I will say Roman and Drew saved COVID.
Yes. But before that, when I can say I was in the closet of a wrestling fan, because that's when you didn't tell nobody you was a wrestling fan. That's how bad it was watching wrestling, and we all remember that. It was Seth Rollins who was carrying us. That was the entertainment. I'm not gonna lie. Once Seth Rollins' segment was done on TV, Raw was kind of just in the background.
Yep.
That was it. But I digress. My winner is Seth freaking Rollins.
What you got, Derek?
I watched the simulation, and man, the promos that these guys have been putting on have been insane. But again, going back to the tediousness of, me and you being so familiar with each other in our minds as far as the wrestling industry, just breaking everything apart. Our minds can't help it sometimes for what's to come. And what I see happening is I do believe Seth Rollins is going to be in the championship title picture very, very soon. I see Roman Reigns is going to be in the title picture very, very soon. And the same with CM Punk. I think that him coming back to win a title was a real thing, and I think that's something that's on his card. CM Punk has been doing a great job since he came back. But as far as this particular match and what's going on, if you look at the history of it, I mentioned it earlier. The original idea for the Shield was to protect CM Punk. They were brought on by Paul Heyman, and I see the history of those two. I see this being probably the match of the night, easily. In my opinion, I think this is match of the night. I think that CM Punk wins. I think this projects him into a title picture in the very near future. And I believe that Seth and Roman go on a feud for a PLE or two. And I expect it to at least go past Backlash 1 PLE.
All right. Now I'm gonna kind of go in the way that Trevor's going with the prediction. I got Seth Rollins winning, but the one thing I don't think any of us have mentioned yet, we could be getting Paul Heyman walking out with Seth Rollins. All this talk
behind that, I kind of left that out.
All this talk about it's my wise man. No, it's my advocate. It's my best friend. Paul technically owes Seth a favor, and he had said, I'm not expecting you to give me shit. But what if Paul's like, hey, Seth, that's not me. I may not have paid my ECW wrestlers, but I've been a different guy in the last 30 years. I can't really knock him on that because if you look at his record, Paul Heyman's not really this scumbag. Seth Rollins is hung up on facts of people from 20 years ago. And I think tagging him with Paul Heyman and giving him that mouthpiece finally, you might be able to see probably the best heel work of Seth Rollins because if you look at the history of Paul, he only works with heels. So I feel it's almost safe to say that he will be leaving
Your son
with us.
Braden in the comments says, "Go Seth." I like his talking. That's my
Yeah.
guy.
Yes, my boy. Now, I'm not saying I don't acknowledge my tribal chief. I'm just saying that I acknowledge my tribal chief's losing his empire and he needs a reset.
Well, he was told, "Hey, Jay turned on you, and then Jimmy's gonna turn on you, and then Solo's gonna turn on you, and then
You're gonna lose.
Paul's gonna turn on
You're
you."
gonna lose your wise man. You're just gonna be a tribe. You're just gonna be a chief with no tribe.
And I hate that it
And
came from the
Friday,
most
he was
boringest
listen.
champion
Friday,
in the whole history of the
Roman
WWE.
Mid ass
Roman was
champ.
on the Pat McAfee show Friday, and he actually Pat had mentioned something. They were talking about what were they talking about? The Shield, and being brought in, his beginnings and whatnot. And he said Pat mentioned, it would have been nice to see him, in the vest. That was a nice setup. He kind of looked at Pat and he said, "Yeah, that would be nice to bring those vests back." You know, so there's a hint in that there's a
Well,
lot of rumors
And
that
he
could
also,
potentially happen.
and I know what you're talking about because Roman did also say that Seth Rollins does have some redeeming qualities about him, kind of.
Yeah, yes, he does.
I was gonna even say I was gonna expect CM Punk to get a version of a Shield bomb.
Do you think that's out the window?
No,
You think
I'm saying
I
if it ain't CM Punk, it's Paul,
so hear me out on this.
but it's CM Punk.
I think we might get a form of a shield at one point, and maybe down the line, you get Paul Heyman heading the faction of Seth Rollins, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns as a impromptu esque shield. Unless because you ain't getting Ambrose back or Moxley, whatever the fuck he wants to go by. He wants to cut himself open on AEW over stubbing his toe. Um, that being said, I got Seth and Roman kind of beating the brakes off each other throughout the match and just getting all that pent up anger and frustration out. And I think I like where you're going with it because maybe it does kind of get that
Hey,
hate
get the fuck out of our way while we're trying to fight each other.
but what I'm getting at is it gets the hatred amongst the two out. You get that frustration between the two. Bailey's hurt in the back. Oh no!
Somebody attacked Bailey. Now we got another fucking mystery for 9 months.
It's probably Naomi. Oh great, Lyra pushed her.
Ooh, the chomps.
Yo, can we get Chelsea Grade teaming with Lyra? You get your two mid card champions.
No, we don't.
Hang on.
It looks like Bailey fucking failed to compete tomorrow.
Yeah, it certainly looks that way, and it's not funny, by the way.
Yeah, but you know what is funny is that Raquel and I are totally cool with having a four-way victory for us. That's a great
Are
idea.
you serious right now?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not going to be that easy. There will be a match tomorrow, so I suggest you get your mind right.
Yeah, we're gonna be us for Flyer 2-on-1. Real smart, real smart. Let's go. Let's go. They want 2-on-1 minutes, so we'll take them both on.
Listen.
If they did this, I want both of them.
Look, I know that, I feel that, I understand that, and I want a championship match at WrestleMania. Not proven. Look, bottom line,
Hey-o. Are we caught?
Chelsea, line one. Chelsea, line one.
Or line one, Roxanne Perez, line one. Roxanne Perez.
Yo.
You
That'd
know,
be kind of.
you
That'd be a good way
know,
to introduce Roxanne Perez.
or hell, for the hell of it, instead of having a tag team match on Tuesday on NXT, had a shit, had a shit, had a shit tomorrow.
Just instead of for the NXT tag title. Oh, that'd be fun.
Anyways, what's our next match?
All right. So we're gonna slide right on down. We're gonna open up night 2. Logan Paul, AJ Styles. The simulation has got Logan beating AJ Styles. I got Logan Paul beating AJ Styles. And it hurts to say that because I love AJ Styles. But this just screams rich fuckboy needs a payday. Unless Hunter's gonna pull the trigger and, cut him off the Raw banner like he wanted to. But cut him out of the win column of WrestleMania.
I like that idea.
I thought you would.
I love that idea.
I do got Logan winning just because I think this is gonna put him over, and I'm hoping, and with my armchair booking mindset, I am hoping that this blonde-haired pussbag quits telling me on his podcast every week that he's going full-time, and he's full-time, and showing up about the same amount of times that John Cena shows up. That needs to stop. So I'm hoping a victory over AJ Styles maybe puts him into that full-time mindset, and you can get him as a full-time superstar without a championship, because the last time he was even close to full-time is when he had that US title. And even then, he had it for 6 months with no title defenses.
Here's
So,
my take on Logan Paul. I think Logan Paul. First off, I don't care if you're full time or part time. That doesn't bother me. What bothers me is what you're saying. Where you're trying to throw clout, like, hey, I'm full time, but you're throwing up part time, bro. And then when you were full time, you weren't putting in the work needed to justify that claim. But as far as this match goes, I AJ Styles is a vet. He's a career dude. He's been around for a long, long, long time, and I think personally, I would love to see him get back on the winning track, because when he left, he was on a losing track. But I have to swallow my pride like you and think that Logan Paul is going to get this with a rich fuckboy, perspective.
yeah, something in me has Logan Paul winning. Now I'm gonna move forward to the Sin City Street Fight, and this match I'm quietly looking forward to on my 420, because this is gonna be a good match to smoke to. But Drew McIntyre facing off against Damian Priest. 2K25 thinks Drew McIntyre is gonna win. I agree with 25. I do think Drew McIntyre is gonna win. Then against Damian Priest, but I think this is a McIntyre match. What do you think? I'm starting with you, T.
Realistically, I want this match to just be an absolute banger, and I feel like this match could steal the whole damn show. Um, Honestly, I'm okay if either one win, but to pick somebody and not be straddling the fence, I'm gonna go with Damian Priest.
Okay. What do you got, Derek?
I I have grown over the last year into a big Damian Priest fan. I've always been a Drew McIntyre fan, even though I thought he was wasted talent when he was the 3-man band, even though I thought that was one of the coolest jobber groups in the history of the business. um, it I, Damian Priest can be elevated more by winning. Drew can be validated, I think, personally and from the fans' perspective by winning, because Damian Priest has built a little clout to his name. That being said, looking at the way these two have interacted over the last few weeks and watching where the momentum of the confrontations are going, I have to stick with Trevor and go with Damian Priest.
Okay. So now we move on to this women's tag team title match. And now that we know that Bayley is injured and may not compete tomorrow night, Lyra is going to have to find herself an opponent. And or a partner. Yeah. But Lyra's going to have to find herself a partner to take on Liv and Raquel. Now, the simulation had Lyra and Bayley winning. I also had Lyra and Bayley winning because I was hoping it led to Lyra possibly losing her Intercontinental Championship because she was too distracted, defending the tag team titles. That being said, I still got the story being Lyra losing her title down the line, but I think this has to go to Liv and Raquel. Unless you just... I just don't know a female right now that you call upon to help regain or help gain tag team championship. Like, there's nobody not involved in a story that I can have it come to my mind.
Liv,
So I mean, uh, you can call a few people. You can call Chelsea Green. Like I said, you can call any of the NXT girls. What I feel like
Liv
might
Morgan,
happen is Natalia.
or not Liv Morgan. My bad. Alexa.
Um, yeah, like I said, you can call a number of people. But what I would do is have her just find any old tag team partner, and I feel like, first off, I feel like if this is a way to get Bayley off the card, that is horrible. But if this is a way to have Bayley come down to the ring later and attack Lyra to tell a story, I'm all fucking for it.
Could Becky return to help Lyra?
She was at the Hall of Fame ceremony.
I don't
So
know.
she's in Vegas.
Says she's not a wrestler anymore, but never say never in the WWE world.
As long as Ric Flair has 2 feet and a heartbeat, never say never is a reality. Now we're gonna move forward to the other match. We still have no idea who the opponent is, and that is Randy Orton. Last night issuing an open challenge to the entire locker room, the entire viewing audience, the entire industry. Now, I put this up the other day on the Real 88 page on who is going to be Randy Orton's opponent. And I got some good intel back with some people. I got names like Rusev, who is set to probably make his return either this weekend or following WrestleMania. I got names like Malachi Black or Aleister Black, who also is set to make his return to the WWE following WrestleMania, if not at WrestleMania. I've had names like Shane McMahon thrown my way, JBL, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ric Flair, Triple H, which we all know that ain't gonna happen. Mick
Sheamus.
Foley. I've even had people throw out names like The Undertaker. I threw a name into the hat like everybody else. And I threw it up on a simulation. Nick Aldis. Hear me out real quick, guys. Randy thought that he got away with that RKO because, hey, I prepaid a year ago, 2 years ago for the next one. And Nick said, no, man. I don't want your money. I want your respect. I think Nick Aldis shows up to the ring. And I'm not going to say beats respecting Randy Orton, but stands toe to toe with the Legend Killer at WrestleMania to give him a card or to give him a match like he is wanting. And in terms, hopefully, earns Randy Orton's true respect. Because when I did this, it was Randy Orton defeating Nick Aldis. I also have Randy Orton defeating Nick Aldis, regardless of any wanting to respect or not. Now, Trevor, who is going to be Randy Orton's opponent in your opinion? And with that being said, how does that outcome happen?
I was thinking about this, and I kind of don't know because we kind of heard some things throughout the months and the time leading up to Mania. If I'm being honest, if it's not Nick Aldis, what if it looks a little impromptu and it's Bad News Barrett off the bench over there? Bad News Barrett come out the soup.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. That's interesting.
It was open to everybody.
it literally was that when he said that, I was like, well, damn, is this how we get Bad News in the ring? Is this how we get Big E in the ring? This is like, and I'm not gonna lie, that would be great for Big E's first in the ring because Randy's gonna protect you.
Yeah, both of them had neck injuries.
Demolish you, but he's gonna protect you.
Say his name and he appears. My wife believes in go ahead,
I don't want to
Well,
see him get
here's my thought.
RKO'd like that. Whoa,
Here's-
whoa, wait. Who has a ranch in Las Vegas?
Calm down, sir. He's my main event. You really thought your main event was going down without a fight?
Anyways, we have 22 minutes until ding 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 ding.
I think Rusev is actually going to come in and introduce himself. I think this speeds up his entry. As far as the Malachi or Aleister Black thing on SmackDown, the date was 4/25/25, which is next Friday. So I do expect him to come in next Friday, but they could move him up. Now, if Nick Aldis is the opponent, I do love that idea. I think it's and I think what you were looking at earlier is like Nick Aldis doesn't beat the respect into Randy Orton, but he fights Randy Orton enough for Randy to respect him.
Yeah, he
And
steps in the ring with Randy,
yeah,
which automatically, in my opinion, that should get a little bit of respect from Randy.
yes,
You
without
know,
a
it's
question.
one of those like, hey, you wanted a match. I still feel that, you owe me. You hit me with 2 RKOs. You really thought you prepaid for that second one. Like, eh, I got to get you. Like, that can't just really go unharmed. Like, I didn't put you in a match. I didn't do anything like a normal general manager would do. But you know what? You're desperately wanting a Mania match. And you know what? I had said when I had first become GM that I'm only here right now at whatever capacity needed. And at that moment, it was being a general manager. But now this is my opportunity. And I'm going to take it. So I think that right there,
They're calling her the
Garnels.
Scrap Daddy at Survivor Series.
Yo, Battle of the GMs. Yo, that
I
would
love
be
it.
lit. All right, so moving on to the women's triple threat match that we had talked about earlier. Now I'm going to give you the prediction of what we had talked about earlier because I already told you that I didn't think this shit needed to be a triple threat match. WWE 2K25 thought it'd be entertaining to make it a triple threat match. But they got Bianca Belair defeating both Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. I, on the other hand, got Io Sky defeating Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair and retaining her title. Trevor, we got just over 20 minutes left. What you got in this match?
I have Io Sky retaining. The title is put on her for a reason. Obviously, we see Rhea going through a character development. It's clear as day. And you have Bianca in a whole different storyline. And let's be real, that's a SmackDown story that she needs to be part of, and there's no reason to take her and put her. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. Io Sky retains. It's a banger of a match, and I believe Rhea and Bianca finally get their WrestleMania moment together that they've been, hinting at for a little bit. Even though it's not a one-on-one, I'm not mad at it. Also, you need to stop disrespecting Io Sky. That is our women's world champion.
Well, and that's why I got Io winning because they're gonna disrespect her enough to where they're gonna not pay attention to her enough in the match. They're gonna be Rhea and Bianca are gonna be focused on each other, and it screams Io retaining. Last year, Io walked into WrestleMania as the women's champion, and because of Bayley needing to have that title, and they just wanting to help her on her resign, they gave her the championship. This year, I think Io is wanting that respect put on her name, and it starts tonight when she walks in. Or actually, I'm sorry, tomorrow night when she walks in as the women's world champion and walks out as the women's world champion. Which leads us to our main event. You got John Cena in his last WrestleMania match, taking on and challenging Cody Rhodes for the WWE Undisputed Championship. Now, if you watch at the beginning of our shows, you see the love that we have for what the heel turn provided. Because it started off with Cody Rhodes telling The Rock, Rock, go fuck yourself. And John Cena told Cody last night, that's why I did what I did, because you choose to be with them. I choose history. Now, WWE 2K25, they got Cody retaining his championship. I, on the other hand, got John Cena breaking Ric Flair's championship record and winning his 17th world championship. Except that little bitch ain't going to retire from the WWE because that last world champion is going to continue to be that last world champion. And we're going to get that until about SummerSlam. Now, while we lead up on this main event topic, Trevor, I'm going to pass it to you, my man.
With a tear in my eye, The GOAT is gonna win his 17th title with a tear in his eye. Now, hear me out. I am ready. I'm not gonna give no how I'm gonna have it conclude. None of that. No, 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 no. I just gave you my winner. The rest of it is I'm finna sit back, shut up, and enjoy the ride that match is finna take my ass earned.
I ain't gonna tell you anything about the Max, but all I'm gonna say is there's some guy that you alluded to a few minutes ago that's got a ranch in Las Vegas. And it's been noted that The Rock and Travis Scott are supposed to be involved in some capacity of WrestleMania this weekend. And you know, they ain't just gonna fucking show up and throw a little opening concert or any stupid shit like that, bro. You know Travis Scott and The Rock are about to show up. Yeah. And Cody's been fiending to put his hands on Travis Scott, so you know that's gonna happen at main event tomorrow night. It might be Bloodline rules again, and we just don't know it yet. All right, Derek. Last but not least, man, what you got? Who you got as the champion? Who you got going over tomorrow? Who's gonna be the champion?
As a wrestling fan in general, I am a John Cena fan for what he has meant to to the business as a whole. I agree with Cody. He can't wrestle. But I think Randy Orton's going to be the one to break Ric Flair's record, not John Cena. And I got Cody Rhodes winning the belt because I believe this is the passing of the torch, in essence, of the company man. And who better to beat the company man that was the predecessor than the incumbent, the guy coming in, excuse me. And I think the victor tomorrow will be Cody Rhodes, who retains his belt. I actually believe Cody's going to lose his belt at Backlash.
Oh, okay.
But I think that what's going on tomorrow night is a passing of the torch, in my opinion. The company babyface, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
John Cena was that for so many years, and whether you like him or hate him, Andrea, my wife, she calls Cody Rhodes Ken. He is the Ken doll of the WWE, and I believe he can be that guy for the next 10, 15 years. I could see Cody Rhodes never turning heel. I could also see him turning heel. You've seen it before. Definitely not with any face paint as Stardust, but I believe he stays babyface for a long damn time.
All right. Well, and that, folks, wraps up another stat card here on Heel Turn. Now, we had some simulations, we had quite a few predictions, and we had a fuck ton of WrestleMania hype. But before we sign off, man, just real quick, let me tell you, I'm going to get you with that Heel Turn of the week because, yeah, it's time for that low blow, that steel chair shot, that reference to 0-3, and the disowning of Big E. Like I said, bro, it's Heel Turn of the week. And mine, I just got a quick thing. I do not like how this stage is. It was a missed opportunity. I'm not bitching. I don't hate it. It's just it was a missed opportunity. And I mean that by, how the hell you not got a giant slot machine?
I like how you did the lights and set up like a chip falling.
Yes.
And, bouncing off the table. I do like that.
Like that, it's cool. It's just, I think you could have maybe given me a little like slot machines, you know, the Tron videos or whatever on the side as your two slots, and in your middle slot you got your superstar coming out. And yeah, your stage, bro, it could have been just jackpot gold dripping all the way down to the ring. Like, I think that would have been cool, bro, because honestly, dog, you're in Vegas. You get one shot to do this, Biggs, bro. And if we're going to throw in a heel turn on something, I want a petition on something. Dom's winning that IC title. Give me Liv as the women's IC title. Let them be the first couple to be Intercontinental Champions together.
I like that.
Fair enough.
All right,
The
so
bottom lines are done.
Well, look,
The
hey, fellas, I
stage is-
appreciate. I want to say thank you for allowing me to come on and be a part of the show. I really appreciate that. And don't forget, if you haven't, I'm gonna give myself a quick plug if you guys don't mind. Hit me up at the Plunder 2023 for Buccaneer content. And moving into this off season, when I was asked, I want to say a month or so ago by you about coming on the show. Today, I'm going to announce that my programming for the Plunder this year is going to be NFL and top 25 related.
all right, T, take a swim, my man.
So the battle lines are drawn. The stage is set in Sin City, Vegas. The only question left is, are you ready to witness greatness? Stay locked in. Follow the movement. Enjoy 2 epic nights of the world's best of the best. This is Heel Turn Wrestling, where the story never ends. It just evolves. You know what? Enjoy your Wrestlemania. Yeet!
Yeet.
Hey, Rock! Go fuck yourself!
You ain't got no BABYFACE. I ain't got a trap phone. I got P's and M's and K's and O's. They're illegal, so I'm just it's on my eyes. I was just a middle finger. Coming from my body, the bowl and the liquor. I think I'm a singer. Puts me in the pot, I treat the chorus like a singer. You 75, I'm a South boy, I'm South shit. This is your brother. Seen with a